We're back.
We're back.
It's Thursday. We're live. I'm Mike.
I'm Brendan.
This is Thirsty Thursday on gettingwork.com. Make sure that if you are coming across this show for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this live on YouTube on Thursday night, or if you're catching this later, still hit that button, like, subscribe, do all the technical social media things. You can find me at that dude named Mike. You can find him at that dude named Brendan. We are the Booze Boys. The Booze Boys.
We are.
We need like a secondary nickname. Well, I feel
Yeah,
I
we'll
feel
have to find
like
something.
Hall and Nash were Hall and Nash. They were the Outsiders.
Yep.
They were the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have many more nicknames than that. Like Legion of Doom.
I
They
thought
were
I was on
Legion of
mute. My bad.
Doom.
Legion
They
of Doom.
were
Powers of Pain.
what was Legion
Powers
of
of
Doom's
Pain.
other name? Road Warriors.
Powers
Road
of Pain.
Warriors. They were the
Oh, wait.
Powers of Pain.
Weren't
No,
they? No,
they
Road
weren't the
Warriors.
Powers of Pain. They were the Road Warriors.
That was Barbarian and
Warlord and the
I'm
Barbarian.
losing my mind. Warlord Barbarian. I'm losing my mind.
So it's
Too
Thursday.
hot out. I'm sorry.
It's hot. I'm a little sunburned.
Here we go. There we go.
What?
Fantastic.
What is that?
It's my fan. It's a
Yeah.
360 fan. I can bend it this way. I can bring it in like this. It's so hot outside, but now I got like get some real good airflow.
What
down
happens
here. This
when
is
you put on
high.
all of your head accessories?
Head accessories?
Do you remember? Do you
I have
remember that Mitch Hedberg bit where he told him?
Oh yeah.
Somebody comes
About
up to
the
him
facial
wearing
accessories, the piercings.
he had a pair of earrings, a pair of sunglasses. His hair was in a ponytail, and he was wearing a hat. He said, "Man, you got a lot of nerve." I said, "Man, you got a lot
You
of
got a lot of cranial
accessories."
I got this too.
What's that do?
Oh, it's not what you think. I promise.
Oh, it definitely better not be what I think it was then, because otherwise that
No,
would
no,
do
definitely not.
damage. Yeah, that's
my
great.
fan.
Turn fans on the audio podcast show. That's a great idea.
How
That's
are
amazing.
you surviving the heat, buddy? I know how much you love the outdoors and everything.
I
That's what
don't-
I was curious.
I
Have you been
s-
outside?
No.
Okay, I was just curious.
No. Well, okay.
I don't know.
So I don't know if you
you
can
don't
tell.
act like a hermit.
I've gotten some sun. I've
No,
gotten
you
more-
haven't.
I've gotten more sun than usual. See, look, hold on. Paler, darker. Paler, darker. Paler.
It's amazing that I'm actually. Well, no, I'm still not. No matter what I do,
Darker.
I'm just.
Paler. Hold on. Can you see the
Alright.
you can see the line? See the little tan line?
Oh, the good
farmer's tan?
farmer's tan. Yep.
So
Yeah, I got that. I wear sleeveless too much, but I
it's
got it right about
summer,
here.
and we decided to get a Kings Island season pass.
All right.
So my daughter's 15. She loves amusement parks, loves Kings Island, and
Okay.
we decided to just pull the trigger. I'm normally not a Kings Island person. My wife usually isn't either.
Oh, I'm with you.
But we did it for
I'm-
the kid. And honestly,
Damn it, we're gonna agree.
I have
Nobody likes that.
I have well, I see the value. I 100% see the value. And I think from a parent's perspective,
We're gonna need to talk about this over a beer.
trying to find things to do with a 15-year-old with a kid in like the summer, Kings Island's actually now in 2024 pretty reasonable and financially pretty good for value. But we're gonna talk about this over a beer, just as you said. So, what are you drinking?
I have something. You want me to just tell you? Or you want a hint? You want a style?
I have two,
I
and I'm gonna let you pick from two. So, how do you want to?
Okay. Let's say if I were to ask you what is probably the number one most stolen piece of merchandise for a beer from bars across the country, what would it be?
The most stolen beer
What
merchandise?
what beer? Yeah, what beer signage or
Oh,
whatever might be the most stolen? And think of one that we may have had on our fence with all of our signs.
a stolen.
You're gonna be
sign.
mad when you think about it.
Rheingeist? No. Oh, Sweetwater 420. Just because it was the big road sign. That road sign. If you don't know what Brendan's talking about, that road sign
Yeah,
insignia that's on the can, that was
yeah.
what's called. It's called a tin tacker. It's the metal sign that they give free to bars to put up on the wall of like, hey, here's the beer that we serve. Their tin tacker is just that 420 road sign.
It's really
So
cool, actually. I
it
mean,
actually is pretty
everybody
fucking
wants it.
cool. It is pretty
You
fucking
can't
cool.
walk into a bar and everybody who just sees it is like, oh, I want one of those. And then by the end of the night, you find out who the people are that try to take it off the wall, who the people are that carry a Leatherman with a screwdriver on it, who the people are who are just good bar guests.
And
Did you ever take anything from a bar?
I've never taken something from a bar that staff didn't know I was taking. I am not a put this in my bag guy. I'm gonna look right at you at the bartender and be like, I'm taking this when I leave.
we
I will not put my beer back on the counter. I will chug it. I will take a napkin, wipe it out right in front of him, and be like, I'm taking this glass.
we used to do this thing way back in the day with another bar. Go ahead. Actually, should we get you? Well, I'll tell you real quick. But the goal was to steal something out of their bar, get it into our bar, and their goal was to steal something out of our bar, get it into their bar.
That's right.
If you notice something that's missing, and this was back at a bar way back in the day for me, like early 2000s, it was called Luther's. And there was another place called the Doghouse that was over in Cincinnati. One of my favorite memories, there are two, of taking something. We got the charity gumball machine by the front door. It's just that you put the quarter in and get the gumball. Wait, that was next to our front door by the next day. It was crazy. Two people having to like lift that and cover the person who was walking out with it and everything, and not get. But my favorite was I went into the urinal one time, and the stall next to me is closed. I'm there, and all of a sudden I just hear. I'm like, what the hell was that? They had taken a 6-foot tall Corona bottle into the bathroom stall with them and were deflating it. It was a inflatable. And so my buddy had gone in there, pulled the bottom, and I was hearing the, and then he shoved it up under the back of his jacket. And we had that inflated and on the bar the next day for when they stopped by, because pretty much we knew that each other was going to be at the bar. It's bad when you know that the person's going to be there the next day, probably.
Well, that's the thing about like
got.
bartending in a smaller area is a lot of times it's the same people working the same shifts every week. So you really do develop that intra bar relationship. That's a nice head. University of Kentucky glass, very nice. So I've got a different glass. I've got one of my favorite pint glasses. This is from Robinson's Brewery, premium British beer. The glass is from Iron Maiden's Trooper. Iron Maiden has their own line of beers. Now, that's not the beer I'm drinking, but I love this pint glass for two
They
reasons.
have really branched out. They have a thing in Dead by Daylight currently, some like a crossover with them on the video games. Iron Maiden's really
That's not
knows
the
how
first
to.
video game they've ever done either. They've always been a band who's done marketing and all of these different
Yeah,
ideas.
they know how to make the money, because they're not just focusing on here's we're making money off the songs. So you said, what's on the
I
bottom
don't know if
there?
it's easy to see, but the Eddie character is
Oh, yeah.
etched into
Nice.
the bottom of the pint glass. But the reason
Nice,
I get
very
this
nice.
pint glass is because this is larger than a normal pint. I don't know if this is what you call the Nonic pint,
Gotcha.
but it's larger than your standard. You go
Is
to a
it the
bar
20
and
ounce,
get a draft
or-
beer. I think so. It says pint on the side. But it is larger than a normal pint glass, because a normal pint glass will fall inside of this and like
Yeah.
completely go inside of it. It won't like
Nice.
stick out of it a little bit. But
Man, that's a hell of a bomb, isn't it? Like a Jaeger bomb. Just drop a pint glass into another. Jesus.
let's go. So the reason I get this pint glass though is because it's
Wait,
larger. Because my
That's
beers,
the only time you could drop a beer into a shot instead of a shot into a beer. There you go. Think about it. It's the only way it would work too with that little amount of liquid. Continue. I will mute myself.
Okay, so I've got two beers to pick from. And the reason I got that is because this pint glass is great because it holds tall boys specifically well. So I've got
Gotcha.
two tall boys here. These are both 19.2,
I already like. I didn't see much. I like the color pattern of the black with the green, whatever that was. Just that little line pattern, whatever that was. I immediately was drawn to that.
All right, so we're gonna go with that.
Yep.
We're just gonna jump right to it. So
jump right to it. Wait, where's the logo?
The logo?
Where's the thing down here?
What logo? Oh! It's my beer of the week.
Yeah. There we go. God,
there it is.
I gotta tell you how to do your own damn segment.
I feel like eventually this is gonna melt away into just what are you drinking? Because if you have a beer too, why don't you get a beer of the week?
Don't matter.
It doesn't make sense for us to both have a beer of the week.
Matter.
It makes more sense just to have the beer that we're drinking. So, anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. This is...
Okay, turn it off. I'm sick of it.
A 6.2% hazy IPA. And
hazy.
the can,
I like that idea.
I bought it purely for the can. Never had this before in my life. Founder's Mortal Bloom. Citrusy and tropical notes. This is a hazy IPA at 6.2%. First off, the can is goddamn fantastic.
That is a beautiful can. Hold it still for 1 second. No, that is great. Number one, like that, I would immediately be drawn to that. I love the tropical. I love the citrus.
You notice it's like a monster.
I love hazies. Yeah. Is it a monster
in
the middle of the flower?
It's got teeth like Little Shop of Horse. But this is 6.2%, which for a hazy is pretty standard. Also, 6.2 is though I've noticed lately most of the tall boys that I randomly grab are usually like 9% and higher. So I was actually pretty surprised that this is only a 6.2. But this is a hazy IPA.
See, I would be drawn to that. 100%. I would be. I love hazies, the tropical, the citrus. You got me at everything. 6.8. I don't usually want to drink. I don't usually care to drink over like 7.5 at this point. I mean, I'd like to have a few maybe instead of one and then feel ill. Could pour.
This is why you use the Iron.
It's not long till we. It's not long till we have little taps behind us, is it?
Ooh, that's what we started Kickstarter for.
Well, I've got a future plan for a new studio type area. I've got this little mini fridge that has been doing nothing, just sitting there unplugged, and I'm starting to think. Besides having the liquor globe, we'll have the beer fridge.
There you go.
Yeah, all within reach. I might never leave. Get me a bedpan. Shoo. You all right? Where you at?
This is good.
That is a heck of a. You got a good beer mustache there, bud.
This is why you use the Iron Maiden glass, because you can fit a whole tall boy in it. This is the 6.2% Mortal Bloom from Founders, our hazy IPA.
Do you remember what Sweetwater's percentage is?
5.8.
5.7. Very good. Very good. Nice.
And it was under 6, over 5.5.
Drink them if you got them. You can count on this go-to OG Pale Ale being fresh, flavorful, and well-balanced every time. If you know, you know.
Well, then.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
Really good. I forgot how good the Sweetwater was. It's funny. Back in the day, this was the hoppy beer. And now it's really not that hoppy. I would almost call it like a sessionable. Compared to everything else that's out there now, this is such an easy drinker. Very glad I grabbed these. I got a 6-pack of them, and we'll see how long they last.
I got another tall boy in here, so we'll see if we get to the second tall boy tonight. But
Gotcha.
We cracked these beers to jump back into talking about Kings Island.
Amusement parks.
Well, it was an interesting experience because as I said, I'm not a big amusement park person, neither is my wife. However,
neither am I.
I will say, Kings Island has made a ton of fucking upgrades. And if you don't know what Kings Island is, if you're listening to this podcast, it is our local amusement park. It's owned by the Cedar Point Company. It used to be owned by Paramount. So all the rides used to be themed after movies. When I was a kid, there was a Top Gun ride. There was Face Off. There was an
Daytona
Indiana Jones stunt show. Daytona 500 or Days of Thunder.
Daytona 500?
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Days of Thunder.
That was fun. I like the Days of Thunder.
Yeah, it was like a 3D moving theater.
See, I like those type of things. I am not a roller coaster person. I mean, to put it bluntly, I hate them. I just know. I don't. You know what? You know when you're in a car and you go over a hill real fast and you get
Yeah.
that thing in your stomach that goes up into your. Some people like that. I absolutely hate it, and that's what roller coasters do to me. It's horrifying. I don't have a break. I don't like it. I'll sit at the gate, hold everybody's food and drinks. I'll wait for you. You can tell me how it went. Water rides, we'll do that all day. But
See,
no.
I feel like I'm slowly becoming a soft core roller coaster fan. I'm not gonna jump on the big ones like the Beast or the Banshee or there's a new one called Orion. But I'll ride like
Orion, yeah.
Adventure Express. I'll ride the Bat, which used to be Top Gun. I'll ride a few other things. Like I like some of the smaller coasters.
It's funny you say that. Adventure Express is the only roller coaster I've ridden there. All I remember is that every turn, it feels like it gave me a Charlie horse on my thigh. And then at the very end, you're going up that hill, and there's those things going
Yeah, there's
drumming. Yeah, yeah. My friends just kept terrifying me, going, "Oh my god, this hill is so big. We're gonna drop so far." I'm
And
like,
that's the end.
"Ah!" And we get to the top, and it's just nothing.
You do this big build up a big
Oh.
dramatic hill, and then it just makes one quick little right turn, and you're done with the ride.
I started to pee my pants. It was terrible.
So, I will say though, they've made it more accommodating as an adult. So we bought the season pass, and really, for a not very expensive upgrade, you can get like a drink pass, where every 15 minutes you can get a soda from any of these soda stations that they have around the park. Or
Wait,
for my
really?
daughter, a few dollars more, my daughter has one where she can get soda or an icy every 15 minutes from any of these stations within the park. Now, I would say
They just put you on like a 15-minute timer. That's how they
Yeah.
regulate it.
yeah, you go.
That's really cool.
You scan because now the pass isn't a card; it's all built into an app on our phone. They scan the
course.
pass, and as long as 15 minutes have passed, and they have the same thing for food. We didn't do the food upgrade, but you can do a meal pass where you get 2 meals a day. They have to be 4 hours apart, but you can get them from pretty much any restaurant in the park. Now, I will say, as a parent packing a backpack of snacks and the drink pass, we're fucking good.
You're set.
We're fucking
Yeah,
set.
yeah, absolutely.
Kid wants an icy, go cool, go get an icy. So that made it a lot better. And what I also noticed is I'm maybe not might not be the amusement park fan, but I'm definitely a good amusement park dad. I'm an amusement park
Okay.
parent. I can hold the stuff. I can
Yeah.
watch the spot. I can
You can pass the
wait
money
while you
out.
go on the ride. I can hand the money out. I can have it's all cashless. That's something interesting too. Is these amusement parks are all cashless. So these kids that go to the park have to go to these stations to put their cash in to get like a little card with their money. If you drop your kid off with $20, they got to load that 20 into a thing and probably pay a fee to load that money onto a card. Kind of cool. I'm sure it probably saves them a ton of money because they don't have to deal with cash and theft and all of those things. But also, it kind of helps regulate the children. And by regulate the children,
I want that on a T-shirt. Regulate the children.
trademark Thirsty Thursday getting worked
TM.
TM.
TM that. TM that.
Regulate the children.
regulate
'Cause
the children.
you think about it, you can't if you know you can't drop your kid off with just $10 or just $20.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be dropping your kid off there for very long by themselves.
Yeah.
So I feel like that they toned down the whole. I feel like there's not a ton of kids running around without adult supervision.
Well, good, because I hate them. I mean, yay,
They're,
kids.
other people's kids are annoying. My kid's great. She's really
There you
really
go,
cool.
yeah.
She's really chill. But other people's kids, I can't vouch for. So we did the amusement park, which was fine, but and I had a great experience. Kings Island also has a water park called Soak City. Have you ever been to Soak City?
Maybe. I mean, I remember going on slides at Kings Island and stuff like that. I liked the beach water park back in the day. Surf
See, we're
Cincinnati.
the
if you
generation
remember
where the
that.
beach and Surf Cincinnati were the water parks. I think Soak City is.
There was even a Pleasure Isle down here by me. I don't know if
I
it
think
wasn't
it's
really
new
so
enough
much-
to where you haven't been to Soak City. If you haven't been to Kings Island in probably a decade, I don't think you've been
Oh,
there.
well, I probably haven't.
So we went there, and as cool as I was with the amusement park's fine, The water park almost freaked me out.
Why's that? You don't like water and stuff.
I'm not a swimmer. I know how to swim. I'm actually
Really?
pretty good at it. Like I took
Oh,
swimming
really?
lessons when I was a kid. But I
You're
don't.
pretty good at it. You took swimming lessons.
Yeah, I learned how to swim properly and not drown as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to the YMCA a lot as a kid. I went to day camp, so then in turn took swimming lessons, and then in turn spent a lot of time there.
I actually taught swimming lessons at a YMCA.
Really?
Yeah.
I was a camp
for a
counselor
while.
at a day camp at the YMCA.
I was a camp counselor. I was basically I was a lifeguard, which meant I did everything else. Like the lifeguards split up the swim classes in the morning, dragging kids around on kickboards and letting them kick. We're gonna blow our bubbles, and you start with blowing the bubbles in the water
What part of swimming lessons is blowing bubbles?
the very, very early ones.
What does that teach you?
Putting your face in the water. That's the big thing.
Oh, so it's like a break the fear kind of thing.
Yeah. Because little kids, like at first, you don't want to put your face in the water, so you hang onto the edge of the pool, and we go bubbles, turn, and then you start learning that head motion as you swim. Like we were training swimmers, bud. We weren't for these kids to save their lives. We wanted records for the YMCA.
Is that a big thing YMCAs are going after? Is swimming records? Is there a lot of recruitment going on in these swim classes? Are they looking
we had a record board at our YMCA. I had a few of them actually.
You worked there.
Luckily, I was at a YMCA without many swimmers.
You worked there.
Well, of course. Yeah, I was on the swim team.
You should have been disqualified.
Why?
You shouldn't be allowed to be on the board if you work there.
How am I cheating? The lifeguards are all part of the swim
Shouldn't it
team
be for the kids
at these pools. There was different age groups.
Oh.
I was lifeguarding at age 16 or 17. So we're talking about the 17 and overs.
I was a camp counselor at 16.
Stuff like that. Yeah. Shut up.
See, I was 16 years old in charge of 11-year-olds.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Little pains in the asses.
I got written up for telling one of them to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do great with some of them. Why is my...
It's an interesting experience working with kids that are not yours, and having to give a fuck about children that you're not related to. It's an interesting thing, and especially when you know that you're being paid to do it, because there's a definite I almost feel for certain people, and obviously there's people that excel at childcare, love it. That's what teachers are or should be, but. I love teachers. You guys don't get paid enough. But I also feel that if your heart's not in it, I think it shows even more. Like if you're just working with kids for the paycheck, I feel like that almost, at least for me, accented the I don't fucking care.
I mean, there's nice benefits to it. I mean, having fun with the kids, like playing dodgeball and hitting them in the face and stuff like that. You ever...
See,
never mind.
No, that was the problem with the YMCA with day camp. And I'm sure you had experiences with their day camp program. It wasn't a lot of
I worked for 3 different YMCAs. I just realized.
Oh, I worked for Fort Thomas.
I was at Campbell County, Kenton County, and Clippard.
Campbell County is Fort Thomas, right?
Well, it's at the top of that hill right there,
right next to Woodlawn School.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Across from a little blue bookstore. Yeah, I worked at that same one.
Yeah, it had the racquetball courts inside, the indoor pool,
only
outdoor
a couple
pool,
years
the
apart
sauna.
there.
Yeah, we probably were.
Were.
I would.
Because I was a camper before I was a counselor, so
you were probably one of those kids I fucking hated. Just a few years younger than me, just a little shut the.
I wasn't sitting. I wasn't sitting in your swim class. That's for damn sure.
Well, you would have been way too old for my swim class. What, 15-year-old Mike sitting on the side of the pool going, I got my beard wet.
I blew my bubbles, dude.
I blew my bubbles.
That's the one kid with the mustache can't swim for shit.
Oh man, I used to have to it sucked in this. It was such a funny, weird job, being a lifeguard, one of your first jobs. I remember the days when I would get scheduled for days, if you know that you're working in the morning. And you're scheduled for 9 a.m. The main pool opens at 10 or 11 a.m. 9 a.m. means you are inside for the older generation swim aerobics class. Let's just put it that way. That's what you're lifeguarding in the morning. Like, oh, I'm on the schedule at 9. I'm dealing with the senior citizens, and they got all their little bonnets on, and they're 1 and 2. Never mind. Sorry, I just
You got to not only practice your CPR, but your diaper changing.
Yes. Oh man. Oh, all their cute little one pieces.
My favorite part was always working the snack bar. If you
I
ever
got
to work
electrocuted in the snack bar one time.
by the pizza oven.
No, okay, when you walked in Snack Shack, right? That's what it was called, the Snack Shack.
It said Snack Shack, but I don't think we ever called it. We never officially were like, that's the Snack Shack. We're like snack bar, snack area, snack. Yeah.
So it was between the parking lot and the pool, right?
Yeah, it was like
you remember that?
You walked in the side gate and you went down and then turned left to get to the pool.
The first time my mom ever caught me smoking a cigarette was out in that parking lot, and I will never forget it. It's like one of those vividly burnt into my memory things that, I felt like an idiot because I didn't even really smoke. I was just pulling it in my mouth and trying to impress somebody who was there. I had no idea how to smoke. I was still like but we went down in the woods there, and she had apparently been in the parking lot and saw me walk down in the woods. And but anyway, the machine in there, I was wet, standing in a puddle, leaned up against it, and felt that it was one of those silver metal slushy drink machines. And up at about this height, I put my arm on it and felt that, and that wasn't great.
I don't know how they build those things to where they put the wires so close to the out fucking side of the goddamn thing where you touch it and you get some of the electrical current.
At a pool.
At a pool where everyone's wet.
Yes.
So the Kings Island experience.
You worked the Snack Shack. You worked the Snack Shack. What was your? Did everybody just annoy the hell out of you? I never worked in the Snack Shack. That's the one thing I didn't want to do. So, I can't sit in one spot for a while.
Because I was a camp counselor, I only got put in things like that, like Snack Shack or other areas, in small increments. I would be like watching it and covering it while the dude that was working it was on lunch, because it was while all of my kids were either at the pool or getting ready for the pool or transitioning through some other activity. So it was like during like downtime, they would pick a couple of us and be like, hey, I need you to go help Bob.
You guys would just bring your kids and leave them for the lifeguards to babysit.
No, we had to always have one on, one off. We had one on, one of us had to be there. One of us.
I feel like I hated you all for that. Maybe I do know you.
So the thing about it is it really was glorified chaperoning. A lot of the job was being a person. Someone has to be with these kids who works for the company.
Yep.
So like,
we need someone who can dial 911 and alert an adult.
This was 1996 when no one had cell phones. I would have to run back to the YMCA.
No, exactly, to the main desk. The main desk.
But when you're walking, you'd be like, oh, take them like 2 miles down the road to the park. So you line 20 kids up and walk them down to Fort Thomas Tower Park.
Yep, love Tower Park.
Hang out for an hour and then go back.
We played a lot of sand volleyball at Tower Park.
I always opted to take the kids to Woodlawn instead, because Woodlawn School was so much closer, and they had that big hill right in the grassy area right near the soccer fields.
Down toward the baseball and soccer field?
Yeah, we would just take kids to the top, and we would get like just sleds and let them sled down that gigantic hill all day.
That is the saddest thing at a summer camp. Shoving kids down a hill, sled riding on grass. I wasn't
shoving the kids. It wasn't like you guys against their will. It was like, you're going down the hill on the slide today, Bobby. I'm scared. Well, guess what? You're not going to be alive. What the fuck?
I mean, how lazy is that counseling? What do you guys want to do? You want to sled ride? It's June.
They were summer. Like, they gave us these summer. That's what they were for. They were like, they gave us these plastic summer sleds where they even said like summer sled. They said summer sled on them. I'm gonna look up the summer sled. Hold on, it's a
look
thing.
Up the summer sled. Please look up the summer sled. The summer sled. Are you kidding me? Slumber sled. The slumber sled. That's what a homeless guy sleeps on, kids. But he can also pull his shit around behind him.
The summer sled.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Also, so while Mike's doing that, I'm going to tell you all that in a second, Mike is going to have a trivia question posed to him. We're going to see how much he has paid attention to the scarves behind me because I have added a new one.
Let's see.
One of these is new, and Mike's going to figure out which one it is.
So I think I might have misremembered.
Oh, you misremembered the summer sled.
Well, because I can't find a specifically titled summer sled.
Was it possibly summer sausage you were thinking of? Like
it might have been summer sausage. No, we didn't give the kids a bunch of summer sausage. No, but it specifically was this type of item where it had a seat. Look, don't get us canceled and look. It had a seat. It was plastic.
That's a fucking booster seat for a goddamn child at a restaurant.
That's what they gave us and said, these are summer sleds. Take them over to the park and put them down the hill.
You're going to double down on the fact that they called them summer sleds still. And there's nowhere in the history of Wikipedia or anything that shows.
Do you know what we had to do for sack races?
Oh, God.
We didn't have
Kroger
sack races. T-shirts.
T-shirts?
Yeah. Because the kids were so small, they would give them adult T-shirts, and you put an adult T-shirt on a kid's lower half of their body, like you put it on like a jumper, and then they just would jump until every once in a while one kid's one leg would fall through the fucking armhole, and their leg falls to the armhole when they're trying to jump with both feet, and they fucking crack their goddamn ankle.
Were we poor, and we don't know it?
We were.
Okay, yeah. I was just making sure. Yeah. Here's a dirty white T-shirt. This is your potato sack.
Do you
we
know,
can't afford burlap here.
Do you know how I realized as a kid and growing up in the 90s that I didn't care about money that much? Because some of the best things I would ever get was a new strap for my Casio watch. You ever do that as a kid? Be obsessed with stupid things? Like I bought a new strap for my watch as a kid. When you're 14, your watch isn't even, it's off by 5 minutes anyway.
I have to unfortunately, I was a spoiled little brat, and I usually got what I wanted. And I can't. Yeah, screw the new watch strap. I was getting the new watch. I would find ways to. I feel bad about it to this day. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But anyway,
I didn't get a new watch. I had the nicest thing I ever. One of the few times as a kid I remember feeling rich was when my mom got me a legit pair of Reebok pumps.
Nice.
The white and blue ones with the orange back, because they had different, like a soccer ball. There was a tennis ball for the pump.
Yeah.
I wanted specifically the white, red, and blue ones with the orange basketball that looked like the ones like I think it was.
You had the knockoff ones with the beach ball on it.
No, I had the legit ones, and that's when I thought it was cool. Was when I did that. That was when...
Dude. The pumps were awesome. Do you remember the disc though? That's the one I always wanted. I kind of wanted. Well, I mean, I wanted it, but my issue was it was always a running, like low cut running shoe. It didn't look like an everyday shoe. But Puma made it. You can look it up. The Puma disc, and on the tongue was a maybe 50-cent piece sized disc that you would rotate, and it would click and it would tighten on your foot. And I remember always seeing commercials for that. Like, God, I wish I was a runner. I could. And but that was around the time of the pump, and that was Puma's attempt to counter the pump. I did have pumps though, and those were always fun. Yeah, see if it comes up still.
Oh my God! Is this the shoe?
Right?
Hold
that
on.
exists. Summer sleds don't.
The Puma disc.
The Puma disc. Well, don't pick that one. You could have picked the black ones. Or look at the orange and gray. There's orange and gray. Do they still make these? Can I get a pair of these?
Can you buy a pair? It looks like it says there was a rebirth of the Puma disc.
Oh,
this is an ad to
son
Amazon.
of a bitch. Oh, man.
I will say, though,
I'm going to have an order put in tonight. Some of them don't look bad now. Those look like some everyday walk around. That blue and green is actually
pretty hot. Like those.
If there's a blue and orange SBC style.
Hold
look at those
on.
orange ones. Those are my match day shoes. Holy shit. Look at those.
Can Can I buy these?
Those might be my match day shoes, my Bengals game day shoes. What are we looking at price-wise? Let's talk about it.
Hold on, let's see.
Puma
what else we
Disc,
got.
Blaze Orange. Do we think it's worth it?
Ooh, Puma X Titolo X Atmos. So apparently they are now like fashion stuff. What is this gimmick on the front though?
That's the disc. You turn the disc and
What do you
it
mean you
tightens
turn
the shoe
the
around
disc?
you like the pump. Okay, picture a coin. Okay, it's a disc and you like rotate it. Brrr, like spin the dial. That's a spinning dial, that circle, and turn the clock like on there, and
What, does it tighten
basically
it?
the shoe tightens. Yes.
So it's the same
After you
concept
click,
as the
you
pump.
feel
Does
them-
it have
yeah.
laces? So it doesn't have
Do you
laces.
see laces? I literally looked at the microphone
No.
and yelled at it. I
I don't
was so
see
mad at
laces.
you. Do you see laces? Exactly. Don't ask stupid questions. It's got a disc. That's why it's called the disc.
So it
Although, good point, the pump did
so you
have
just
laces.
put it on your foot and you tighten a little disc.
See,
Oh, apparently they still make them for
the
golf.
spoiled
shoes.
brat in me
You
is
can
now
get a
determined to
golf
finally
disc.
get those shoes. Yeah, well, here's the problem now. The little spoiled brat in me is
Mother
determined
Brendan,
to have the shoes
Father
I thought about
Brendan.
having as a kid now. So I'm going to order these. Yep. They don't
Mother
need to do
Brendan, Father
anything.
Brendan,
I will
don't buy
have
them
them. I'll
shoes.
see you guys in them. I'll have them on in a few weeks. No,
Don't
I'll
buy
have
them
them in a few
shoes.
weeks. Don't worry. Those orange ones are FCC match day shoes if I have ever seen a pair. There are so many people that have like orange Converse or all these different match day shoes. And my best pair that I had that were orange were some work boot Timberlands that have a composite toe. And those things are heavy to march in. The last time people marched with a composite toe, wars began.
So, oh my god.
Anyway, what are we shooting tonight? What? That was a great bit. That came out of nowhere.
It's been a World War
Improv.
II joke.
Mike, you want to try? Here we go.
Is that a World War
I
II
didn't
joke?
technically
Is that-
say World War II. How many different... That's lots of different marches, I'm sure, that have happened with composite toes. It's not a World War II joke. Mike, here's the trivia question. Which one is new?
Which one is new? Oof.
Why do I look like I am behind you on the feed here?
You know what? What about
I've
doing
frozen.
some-
There we go.
You're back. Now you're on time.
Okay, which one of these is new? I will lean out of the way of some of them. Do you see anything that looks different? Trivia time before we do shots.
The pride scarf.
Which one? They all say Pride. A lot of them do.
The
Our
pri-
group is called the Pride.
The Pride Month color over your left shoulder. Move your head. That's your right shoulder. Move your head to the right.
My head to the right.
Lover. There's just something like lover or. Nope. Yes.
This is the new Pride Month scarf. Cincy is for lovers. It's got some really cool Cincinnati stuff on it. But yeah, I think each week I'm going to throw a new scarf up there somewhere or rearrange them. There's the window from Music Hall, the Cincinnati flag, the Ohio flag, the three waves. Anyway.
So it's like Pokemon that go around your neck.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're like it's like a wearable Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, kind of something like that. It's how we define the different groups. Like that's the Kentucky group. That's the Hell is Real commemorative scarf. That's the Northern group. That's the Irish group. That's Real Madrid. That's the Pride. That's Liverpool. That's the Irish group. That's yeah. We got all kinds. But anyway,
I stopped your version of the feed just to make sure we're going fine. You're still in the show, but I stopped. I think that was what was causing lag on your end.
well, I didn't like looking at it.
Well, the people
I was
can
looking at
still
two
see
different-
you.
As long as everything's fine, because I don't like looking at doubles of me, and that one was lagging.
I can barely look at the one. Don't fucking start with me.
Oh my god, I'm so.
All right, I need a shot.
I just
right.
popped a second beer.
I'm gonna do that here in a minute. Well, I've got to finish the first one first. So I've got two options for
Two
shots
options.
this week.
Is one of them horrible?
No.
I need, you know what? The people
Well,
want to see us torture ourselves at
we don't
times.
know
I
yet.
think we need, I like the idea, you and I, within this next week, let's try to get together. We'll go to ABC, get ourselves some hamburgers, and then maybe we just find a place and we get 10 little random bottles that we wouldn't want to drink. And then we have a bag sitting here right next to ourselves we have to reach into.
He's writing the show during the show.
I am. I'm coming up with shit.
So
I'm usually asleep any other time. I'm sorry. Anyway,
no, you're good. I'm gonna take a big swig of beer and then we're gonna do a shot.
big swig of beer. Oh, I gotta find a shot.
Oh, a little bit of drip, a little bit drippy. Don't
Drippy drip.
drip on my Dave Meltzer shirt. Oh no.
Oh, we're dropping things.
All right, so I have two.
Two.
I'll tell you this:
Uh,
they're from the same brand,
from the same brand.
the same company.
Is it a round bottle or a flat bottle?
They're round bottles.
They're round bottles. Okay. Gosh, this reminds me of Lost.
I didn't watch
Did you ever
Lost.
watch Lost? Lost is one of my favorite things ever. The white stone, the black stone, backgammon. Let's go with the white stone. The white lid.
All right,
What do we got?
what do you agree?
Oh, Mike, here you go.
Yeah.
Top or bottom? Hey, see, here's the thing. I know I'm not going to like either of these, and that's what I'm doing for the people. Go ahead.
Bottom. I don't know if I'm gonna like this either. I didn't
Going
get.
with a Dr. McGillicuddy's cherry.
Did you buy stock in Dr. McGillicuddy?
They were just there was it was going to be that or root beer.
All right, so you got cherry. I have dough ball. Dough ball.
Wasn't that your nickname in high school?
Hey, fuck you. Dough ball. Birthday. Fuck you.
I'm so sorry.
Holy shit. So, this is dough ball birthday cake whiskey. And the other one was dough ball cookie dough whiskey.
You can find me at that dude named Doughball.
Oh my god.
Can the new show be called Brendan and Doughball?
It's like Jake and the Fat Man. Brendan and the dough ball. He's hi, I'm Brendan. Oh
You
god.
kind of gave me Pizza the Hut vibes.
Oh god.
Speaking of Pizza the Hut, can I ask you something?
He ate himself to death.
Did you hear? It's been confirmed. How do we feel? Spaceballs 2 is in the works.
I don't care because I still get Spaceballs 1. They'll never take Spaceballs 1 away from me. So Spaceballs 2 is either going to be good or it's going to suck. What do I
don't
think
know.
is going to happen? I think nowadays more movies suck than are good. That's just unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. No,
So,
they're churning them out. Like it's now just a race to get as many out as possible, as opposed to like waiting for a while. Like
Hold on.
I have hope for the new Beetlejuice.
Rick
I do
Moranis
have
still
hope
with
for that.
us? No.
What are we talking about?
Is Rick Moranis
Oh,
still alive?
Spaceballs. Oh yeah, yeah. Rick Moranis is still alive.
Okay, Rick Moranis still here. John Candy's gone.
I have a feeling
Um,
the person who is directing this. I mean, well, Mel Brooks is a part of it, but a big part of it as well is Josh Gad, if you know who that is.
Yeah,
and
I know
he's
who Josh
also
Gad is.
he's starring in it as well. So I'm wondering if he's gonna have a John Candy type role.
But what?
I knew this was gonna be polarizing. That's why
So
I
I
wanted to
think
bring it up, and I'm glad you reminded me.
My problem. Oh, what? By calling myself fucking Doughball, I reminded you? What the fuck? Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for being a Doughball. So that way I remember Jabba Pizza the fucking Hut. What the fuck?
Why did you show me the video of you playing music?
Oh, it was good.
It
No,
was fantastic.
but
I wish I could have come to one of your shows. Anyway,
so
Oh, man.
the movie's gonna be okay. I think it. I mean, it's gonna be a bunch of parodies and jokes of like Star Wars reboots and remakes. It's gonna be poking an idea at the reboot, the remake, the sci-fi franchise. Like there
I
might be
think
some
Spaceballs
Avengers
should have been left alone.
references.
The
I
new
think
Beetlejuice will be good. I think Spaceballs should have been left alone.
Spaceballs will have some good jokes. The problem is you don't. Spaceballs had Star Wars. There wasn't Star Wars. 10 other Star Wars, Dune, Ready Player One, all of these. You know what I mean? There's all of these other franchises right now. Spaceballs really only poked fun at like Star Wars and Alien, and the idea of commercialism. It had a very narrow parody scope. I feel like they're going to try to parody too many things to where it's not going to feel like Spaceballs. It's going to feel like funny 2025 or 2026 Mel Brooks movie, which
yeah.
isn't Spaceballs 2. Tell me exactly what happened to Lone Star and his family. Show me the Winnebago.
Lone Star.
Bring back Lord Helmet. Like, you've got Mel, so you can get President Scroob.
And you can also have little... Oh my god, what was his name? What was his Yoda character? Yogurt.
Yogurt. You can have Yogurt.
The Schwartz.
You can't have, though...
Did the guy pass away who was the Lone Star?
Who was Lone Star?
He was in... Wasn't he the guy from Twister?
Bill Paxton?
No, it's not Bill Paxton. It's, Oh, man.
Hold on.
I think he passed away, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe he didn't.
Hold on. Let's
I don't know. We got to do some research. Give me the actors, because he was in so many things, and I just cannot think of his name. I can see him vividly side by side with John Candy in the front of that Winnebago.
Hold on.
What you got for me? His name is
John Candy, Rick Moranis. Why is it not showing me all?
Was
the
it
stuff?
Pullman?
They changed the way IMDb works, and now you got to scroll down. Was it Bill Pullman? It might have been Bill Pullman.
I don't think so. Maybe it was. Was it? Okay. Pullman and Paxton are a lot of crossover for me. Is he still alive?
Daphne Zuniga was Princess Vespa.
I had a thing for her. Who didn't have a thing for? Joan Rivers was Dot Matrix.
She can't have Dot Matrix anymore.
Well, I mean, you could maybe. Is her daughter? Her daughter could maybe do it. Melissa Rivers.
Bullock,
I don't know what she's doing.
Jim Jackman, Sandy Hilberg. So I mean, you've got Mel Brooks is still around. No more John Candy. Rick Moranis is still around. Bill Pullman. I don't think Daphne Zuniga is alive.
Yes, she is. I saw her recently for something.
Oh.
They had something where I think it was like a Comic-Con or something she was at. But Bob had us. He had Bill Pullman.
So all in all, I think Spaceballs is going to be fine. Am I going to go pay to see? No. I'm not going to give it any money, but I'm going to watch it when it hits whatever streaming service it hits. I'm not going to go to a theater. It takes a lot for me to go see a movie in a theater anyway. I think the last thing I went and saw in a theater was The Iron Claw. Because it was a pro wrestling movie. Sad.
How was it? Well, I mean...
A little inaccurate as a wrestling
If you know
fan.
the story, it's going to be sad. It's one of my favorite Dark Side of the Ring episodes. It's one of my favorite families in wrestling. It's a tragic, horrible story, but goddamn were they talented and captivated an entire part of the country. Like, I mean... Rock stars. What were the inaccuracies that bothered you? Or what is there a big inaccuracy that stands out that bothers you?
There aren't big storyline inaccuracies. There's a lot of little things where like some of the stuff is out of order, not enough to where it affects the storyline, but if you've watched all the dark sides and everything like that, there's a couple times you're going to go, "Oh, that's not how that happened." But it's not enough to wreck the story.
Gotcha.
The biggest distraction in the whole movie, in my opinion, they miscast the two main actors. They cast Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich.
Yeah.
And then they cast the Bear guy, the guy from The Bear, Jeremy Allen White, as Carrie. When they're standing there talking to each other, the only thing my brain kept screaming was they should flip. They should switch roles. Because
Carrie was a beast.
Carrie was a beast,
tornado.
huge monster. Kevin was not as big as Zac
Kevin
Efron is in this
Kevin was the athletic all-around one.
But
Carrie
you kind
was
of
the powerhouse.
needed for their story.
Bob just told me that Bob tells us that Princess Vespa turned 53 yesterday. Happy birthday, Princess Vespa.
Happy birthday, Vespa. Daphne Zuniga.
She was Druish from Druidia.
A Druish princess.
Yeah, she didn't look Druish.
She didn't look Druish.
My favorite is still whenever you're looking for something, like, hey, did you find it? We ain't found shit. And they're using the
that's Michael Winslow. Right? No,
Yeah.
Michael Winslow.
Winslow's inside the ship on the comms. Yeah. The bleeps, the creeps, and the sweeps.
And then it appears we've been jammed.
The Raspberry. Lone Star. What a great... I need to watch Spaceballs again. Like,
that movie did a great job of building a universe in a very short amount of time.
Right.
Like even though it's a comedy, they tell the story of who.
But if you have a little bit of Star Wars knowledge, that does help because they kind of build off of that. Black helmet guy, Vader, bad guy. We got this. Well, yeah. We got the plan. I mean, yeah.
And Lone Star is just Han and Luke together.
Solo and you got your Chewie and your Mog. I'm a Mog, half man, half dog.
Barf. Not in this car, sir. This is a Mercedes. So what are we doing shots of?
You've got, I believe, what was it?
Well, fuck.
Oh yeah, that's what set us off. Tell me again, Mike.
Doughball birthday cake whiskey. I can never drink that. I got 2 to get through, and I'm gonna throw the other one away before the next episode.
Wait, what's the next one?
Cookie dough. I have birthday cake and cookie dough. Oh yeah, it's just I went out and bought 2 little mini airplane bottles of Fat Joke. I know. I pretty much fucked myself for like a good month with references.
I'm done. Oh God, I can't wait till you do cookie dough in 2 weeks.
All right, you want to switch? Right. Should I do cookie dough now?
No. We're doing dough ball first. Dough ball.
They're both called dough ball. Dough ball. I got double dough balls. I got 2 dough balls.
Which dough ball is this? Birthday cake?
Birthday cake.
Happy birthday, Princess Vespa. We're gonna do
birthday cake. Happy birthday, Princess Vespa. Here we
go. Dough balls. Hold on. Birthday cake.
It's a good year. Listen to the crack.
Oh, that's a good vintage.
Oh, it's a good vintage. Hold on.
Oh, that cherry. Oh God.
Okay, this actually smells good.
It's like I'm gonna shoot Robitussin, and you're over there having birthday cake. I'm so pissed off right now.
Oh my God.
Oh, hurt.
This makes me want to be fatter. Hold on.
I don't want to smell that. I'm gonna smell this.
Oh, this smells so good. What was that, mint?
Solid colognes. They're very cool. It's like all natural. You got coconut oil, things like that. You rub, you get them hot between your fingers. They work really well. Okay. This one is Clary Sage. They're nice. Throw in your pocket. I tried them out. I wanted to try them out, and I highly recommend them. Sandalwood, basically, yeah, they're all natural. Coconut oil, things like that.
We're not sponsored.
Yeah, we're not sponsored. We should be sponsored because I will use the shit out of these. The sandalwood one is great. I got a 4-pack. I won't tell you where I got them, but you could probably.
I could be the spokesperson for.
What? The brewery. Oh, Dough Ball. Hi.
People that. Hi. I'm Doughy P. Ball.
What's the P stand for? Pastry.
Pudgy.
Pudgy.
My name's Doughy P. Ball. The P stands for Pudgy. That's a commercial. You should hire me.
You would have the laziest mascot outfit. We just basically put a big ass bean bag around you with your legs sticking out the bottoms and your arms out the side. Hey everybody, it's like Dough Ball.
It looks like a little kid's production of Willy Wonka with Violet Beauregard blowing up. That's all they do is they just like, get inside this beanbag chair, Sarah. We're gonna zip you up inside this beanbag chair. You're Violet Beauregard.
We could paint him red and he could be Meatwad for Halloween.
People of the internet, I'm Dopey Ball. The P stands for Pudgy.
Dopey.
Right. Dopey Ball.
Dopey Ball.
Dopey Ball. Cheers.
Oh God damn it! I was like, ugh.
Good. Strong.
Fuck you.
Strong. Tastes like a vape.
It's like shooting. Yeah, it's like shooting cough medicine. Oh,
It's because it's from a doctor.
yeah, Mr. McGillicuddy.
That's what happens when you get your liquor from the doctor.
This is some fucking snake oil.
Whew.
Ugh.
Well, at least it wasn't some dough ball.
Man, let me tell you something real quick. I have been playing a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Did you ever play the Telltale games?
I've
Like-
never played. I know you play them. You filled me in on a lot of those kind of games and kind of told me about the greatness of them.
I am very
Not
big
my
into.
kind of game.
Yeah, they are story games. They basically play like a TV show. There are quick time button press events that if you wait, you see an A flash, you got to press it real quick, and the story could change. Like maybe an axe is flying at someone's head, and if you hit A, you ducked it. If you didn't, they're dead, and the story branches and changes. There is a game on Game Pass called The Quarry, and it is phenomenal. It plays like an 80s or 90s classic movie. The soundtrack reminds me of Stranger Things. It's that very synthesizer, bing bing, bing, kids at a summer camp type thing. But I'll tell you what, it's one of the best horror stories because I just don't know which way it's going, and it should have been made into a TV show. It is absolutely phenomenal, and you have some real actors in there. If you look at it, if you watch it, you feel like you're watching them. Ariel Winter, specifically from Modern Family, if you remember her, she's
Okay.
Alex, the nerdy daughter.
Wasn't
David
she-
Arquette.
Was she a Masked Singer?
Ariel Winter hasn't done Masked Singer yet.
I think she's one of the people they always guess. I
No,
think
they
she's
guess
one of the
they guess
go-to
they guess
names.
the sister, Sarah Hyland. If you think about Modern Family, there's the cool sister, there's the nerdy one with the glasses, and then there's the boy. Yeah. Sarah Hyland is the taller sister. That's who they guess a lot because Sarah Hyland has actually performed in like productions and done some singing. Ariel Winter, she's done a lot of things. She's mostly known for paparazzi taking pictures of her on beaches.
The only name I know from that show really well is Al Bundy.
You know his name?
Ed
O'Neill.
I realized I brought up who
There's
it
a-
was, and I'm like, shit, I'm blanking on the name, but no. Because I watched so much, well, up until a certain point in my childhood, I watched a ton of Married with Children.
Great show.
Did I ever tell you my Married with Children story?
No, go ahead.
So, in high school, no, this was in elementary school. In elementary school, this was probably like 5th grade, 6th grade. So, I thought I was funny. I wanted to be funny. I wanted to say witty things.
Oh, I know the feeling. I've wanted you to be funny for a while.
That's good. I had a dirty sense of humor, and at the time,
No.
there was a sketch comedy show called The Edge. Do you remember The Edge on Fox?
God, that sounds familiar.
Very short-lived. It only lasted about 3 seasons, and there's a point behind that. So
Anybody specific from it that I would know today that you remember or
I'm gonna
anything?
look that up. While we're talking. So cast of the.
Oh, we got a message in the chat there from Sarah. Sarah Hyland is actually going to be in Little Shop of Horrors on Broadway. That'll be really cool.
Cast of the Edge.
I heard you. He may not have, but I paid attention. He's looking up something.
Edge. No, what are those kind of shows called? Not a sitcom. It's sketch comedy.
Sketch comedy. You said that a second ago. Sketch comedy.
But I typed sitcom.
Oh, okay.
So apparently the cast of The Edge was much bigger. Jennifer Aniston
No shit.
was on The Edge. So it was a sketch comedy show. Let me pull this up on IMDb. The comedy featured a deadly opening sequence each week. Oh yeah, because they killed a member of the cast in the opening. Like their little opening scene always ended with a member of the cast dying.
That's
And
crazy.
being like brutally murdered.
Do you know I'm on IMDb?
No.
I am.
No. For what?
Camera work and behind the scenes BTS stuff for that movie.
Do you have a picture?
I don't have a picture because at that point I gotta pay for an IMDb membership. You gotta pay for like to be able to put your bio on there. Like you can still like if you go onto IMDb. Oh my god, I hope I still am because boy would I be talking a big game. Let me find out.
So the cast of this show. Let me run down some of the cast of the Edge sketch comedy show. Jennifer Aniston, Julie Brown,
Downtown Julie Brown, like from MTV.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Tom Kenny, who is when you see his face, you'll know who he is. Wayne Knight, who was Newman in Seinfeld. Jill Talley, Rick Overton, who's a famous comedian. Alan Ruck was in the show. Do you know who Alan Ruck is famous for?
God, I know the name. I bet I would recognize him immediately. Who is it?
He was the best friend in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
Cameron.
okay.
He was
Cameron.
Paul Feig.
Yep, I am still on IMDb. I am known for camera and electrical department for the
Paul
movie.
Feig was in The Edge. Paul Feig was eventually went on to direct The Office and.
Oh yeah,
2016.
Paul Feig is his name.
Okay, he did the 2016 Ghostbusters movie. George Wendt from Cheers, Kathy Ireland.
George Wendt. He was on The Masked Singer. He wasn't great.
So either way, a ton of like names apparently were on this show, and the reason this is important is because I was a young kid trying to be funny in elementary school, and I'll never forget. Every once in a while, they would make us sit in the hallway to do work. Like, they'd break you up into groups. And like, oh, 2 groups go work in the hallway. So that way, all the groups aren't next to each other, right? So you guys can work together and kind of separate out. Yep. So there's like 2 or 3 groups in the hallway. And a couple of the people are talking, blah, 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 blah. And this show had a character in particular where the entire joke of the sketch... The entire premise of the sketch is that this guy was in a car accident and had to replace his nipples with raccoon nipples. The whole premise of the sketch. Like you know how like Saturday Night Live had Pat as a reoccurring character?
Oh, yeah.
Their reoccurring character was a guy with raccoon nipples.
You remember Massive Head Wound Harry?
Yes.
There was a famous blooper of the dog getting a hold of like the head wound and like pulling it off.
Yeah.
It was Dana Carvey and so he laid down on the white couch. Yeah, Massive Head Wound Harry, I'll never forget.
We're all in the hallway working on our project, and I'll never forget. One girl says to another kid, "Oh, like I just don't want to do this anymore." And my line didn't have anything to do with what was being said. My line wasn't funny. It didn't fit into it. It didn't work as a retort. She had said something that was just arbitrary, and I blurted out, "That's because you have raccoon nipples." Right as a teacher's walking into the hallway. So I immediately get pulled into the principal's office. They're calling my mother because we're in like the 6th grade, and this is like 1990 something. Like, your kid says raccoon nipples. Like, they're calling your parents. They're 100% calling your parents. So I get called in. I get sent home for the day, and my mom's talking to me. She's like, "Where did you hear that? Where did you learn that?" So in my heart, I'm like, if I say The Edge, she's not going to let me.
She won't let me watch it anymore.
So I say Married with Children, which I also enjoyed as a TV show.
Oh, did you lose Married with Children rights?
So, Married with Children, officially banned in the household. You are not allowed to watch Married with Children anymore. Do you know what happened about 3 weeks later?
The Edge got canceled?
The Edge got canceled.
And now you're not allowed to watch Married with Children.
So now I'm out 2 shows.
2 shows.
I'm out 2 shows. I double lose because I can't watch The Edge. That's not on anymore. I can't watch Married with Children because, parents... In the 90s, you could hit your child, which was perfectly fine. But I digress.
Yeah, no. You could hit Doughball if he talked about raccoon nipples.
If Doughball says, "Hey, this is my son Doughball," if he says raccoon nipples, just give him a little slap.
That'll take care of him.
All right.
What do you got there, Mike?
Beer.
Time for another beer? Is this going to be like a pre-game beer? Are we going to game? What are we doing tonight? Do we know?
So let me finish this.
I'm putting you on the spot live. What do you want to play?
We're going to kill this stream. We're going to jump off the show. We're going to close out talking to you people of the internet, and then we're going to kick things back up here in a few minutes playing Xbox.
Or PlayStation.
I think with the way the internet's going tonight, Xbox is going to be a little bit safer. I feel like there's a little bit of stutter. I don't know if it's mine or yours. We'll talk about that.
Everything's looking clean right now.
Yeah, because I
But
shut
then
everything
again,
down.
oh,
But
well, yeah. Quit having all those windows
we'll
open.
drop off here.
It's like my
I
mom's
gotta
cell
run
phone.
the
She's
show.
got 30 pages
I'm over
open
here
at the same
doing
time.
something. Doughball's busy, boy. I don't know what you're talking about. Doughball's over here rocking and rolling. You're just over there talking. I don't want to hear it. All these monitors, all these screens.
I'm getting a Doughball shirt. God damn.
Doughball, sponsor us. That's the one I'll ask for. Come on, Doughball. Look at me.
I'll be your dough. Do the truffle shuffle. Never mind.
No. No, I have a hernia.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go like the truffle shuffle with a knuckle.
Oh, come
People of the
on.
internet, I'm Mike.
I'm horrified by what I just heard. I'm Brendan. I'll
This
see
has
you
been
soon.
Thirsty Thursday on gettingwork.com. Like, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Let's do some gaming.